everybody, it's Jewelyn. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my home here in Santa Monica, California. It is Tuesday morning and believe it or not, we are heading to the airport to fly to Egypt. But before I go ahead and do that, I wanted to do this cute and fun project for the channel, and it's definitely something that I've been holding off on, saving it for a rainy day or right before I head on out to a big trip. So I'm going to show you two inexpensive easy ways how you can go ahead and propagate without having an actual big greenhouse. If you've been keeping up with my channel, I want to say a couple of episodes back I did a Planting with Jewelyn episode propagating leaf cuttings in a Ziploc bag, and it just was something that I was doing on the side until it rooted up, and then I shared it on the channel. That is definitely one way you can go ahead and propagate. Doesn't cost a lot of money. You can upcycle plastic bags that come through your space, or you can go to your local dollar store or any big box stores and you can get a container like I did. So this container I purchased from my 99-cent store, but they upcharged it for $2. So for $2 I was able to get this from my 99-cent store. Also, one thing that pulled me towards this particular container was of course the color. So I want to share with you how I'm going to set up this greenhouse. So if you don't have a lot of space or don't want to take up space propagating, or don't have a greenhouse like me, you can go ahead and do it this way or in the Ziploc method. So you're gonna create your own little greenhouse for just a few dollars. I have my propagation scissors with me. I have all of my babies ready to go in here. I have some already set up from earlier. And I'm gonna also propagate a couple of leaves that fell off with the heavy rain over the last 2 days. So over the last 2 days, there were a handful of leaves that fell from the heavy rain. Don't throw away your leaves. You can always go ahead and propagate it. So with any fallen leaves, you can go ahead and propagate them. Over the last 2 days, it rained really heavy here. And I just picked up my leaves and I just kind of stacked it to the side and I saved it for today's project. So never throw away anything when it comes to plants, because you can always go ahead and propagate it and we'll see what happens. So I think this is the perfect time to do this because I'm leaving for about 3 weeks. With me being gone for about 3 weeks, I think this is the perfect time to set up this propagation, and in hopes I come back to maybe some roots or a little growth. So I hope this inspires you that maybe when you go and take your next long trip and you saved up a bunch of fallen leaves, go ahead and propagate them and you can come back to maybe something cool and propagate it to make more babies. So let's go ahead and get started. So I just have the container here and I love this because it's perfect. It's small enough to go ahead and fit in any space. What I did was, with this particular container, because there's no ventilation and you need a little, I just went ahead and I got a sharp tool, like say I used a screwdriver, and I just went ahead and I punctured holes in the top. So if you see here, you can see that I had put little cracks in it here, right here in the center, and out here on the side. So there's 5 cracks into the cover. With these 5 cracks in the cover, it's going to be perfect for ventilation for the plants. I definitely don't want to have big holes because then it won't have that greenhouse effect. So I want to be able to create humidity in here. I'm going to go ahead and share with you the leaf propagations that I was able to pick up over the last 2 days from the heavy rain. Anytime you get a leaf that falls off of your plant from the weather or just accidentally bumping into it or transplanting it, save it, and I save it all to the side, and then I will keep it for these propagation videos and we'll go ahead and experiment with them. I have a couple of peperomias. I do have one begonia, so I'm just kind of cleaning them up and then we'll see what happens. Now say for instance, this is one of the begonia leaves that I got from my rescue, and as you can see, this part is a little damaged from the rain, but I'm gonna try to at least salvage what is here. So if you look at this big long vein right here, as long as the leaf cutting has a part of this vein, it should be able to propagate. Now with begonias, it does take a little longer, so you just have to be patient, but I definitely don't mind. And I am just gonna set everything on the side and see what happens. Now I do have a pothos and joy leaf. I don't know, I've never tried it, but who knows, I guess we'll have to see. I also have one of my peperomias. I have a bunch of different peperomias. For the most part, I do this with peperomias and I always seem to get luck. I'll show you in a second my first batch. And then here's one of my bigger peperomia leaves that fell off and I wanted to go ahead and try to save it. So these are all of the leaves that I'm going to propagate for today's video, and we'll see what happens. So they're all here. I also have the Ziplocs here just in case I want to go ahead and maybe put some in there. Like say for instance, these bigger leaves, they might not fit in the planters that I have available. So here is my red Congo. So I'm just gonna do the cuts here. I'm gonna cut right down in the center. And you can also do this with Sensibilias, but I don't have any Sensibilias that I want to go ahead and cut and destroy. But we'll go ahead and do it for this. So we're going to leave this here on the side. I can't wait to come home and check the propagation box to see if there's anything cool. With this begonia, you could definitely cut it in multiple parts, but I'm gonna do 2 and see what happens. Here's another peperomia, so I'll cut this. This is a watermelon. This is a ripple right here. We'll see, I've never done a ripple. Another watermelon. Here's a peperomia. Another peperomia. I think because this one is really small, I'm just gonna stick it into the dirt like that. And then here's another one here. So now that I made all of my cuts, I'll go ahead and get my next step, which is, in hopes maybe in time, get another baby out of fallen leaves. Definitely fun to experiment and see what happens. And for the most part, all of my red edge peperomias that I did this to in the Ziploc bag worked out great, and they're all rooted up. They'll join this little party here in the box, and I'll see what happens. So far, we have a couple here. Now, I might want to go ahead and put these begonia cuttings in the Ziploc bag and see what happens. I'm going to try my hand on the pothos here and see what happens. I've never propagated like this, but be a fun thing to try. Now, this one I'm super excited about. This one is one of my favorite peperomias. I think this is a Rana peperomia. See if I can go ahead and just get them in together. Oh, they look so cute. I do have one big one here that I will hopefully be able to fit this guy in. I think that's too big, so we'll do this then. We'll put the red edge in here. So the end will go right into the soil. Do that. Okay. So this is the red edge set up together. Just have a few more. So with these bigger pieces, I'm going to use now the Ziploc method. So I have my Ziploc bags filled with soil. I have 2 of them. And I'm going to put the begonia in one. They'll be in there together. We'll see what happens. Begonias are very fragile, but I definitely want to give it a whirl and see what happens, because this leaf was going to die anyway. So as long as you have that big thick vein in soil, you should be able to get roots. You just have to keep the soil really moist. So we'll see what happens, and I'll keep you guys posted. So this is what it looks like set up, if you see here. So that looks pretty good. I'll leave that there. And I'm just closing it just a little. I'll go ahead and mist it in a second. And then my second bag here, I'm going to go ahead and place the peperomias in here. They're bigger, so I wanted to put them in a place where they would have more space. Okay. You can have them very close like this and it'll root up. Ooh, I'm so excited for this, guys. Okay. Here it is. So I have 4 cuttings in this bag right here. All of the edges are in. So this is everything that I propagated right here. I'm gonna now mist them. So here's part 2. I go ahead and I mist everybody. I want to make sure that they're nice and moist. They'll be able to get humidity in the mini greenhouse. I'll go ahead and I'll spray the babies that are in here. And the Ziploc bags, I just let it live in my bathroom because it has diffused lighting. But I'll just leave it in this greenhouse and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I guess let's see, the best baby wins, huh? This is gonna be exciting. I don't know about my caparata because the leaf is so frail and thin, but I don't know, I guess we'll see, we'll find out. I'm gonna add a little bit more soil there. So I have to head to the airport after this, so I'm definitely filming up until the last second, but I wanted to at least do this project before I go to the airport. So all of the babies are here set up. Now we're gonna go ahead and place them into our little greenhouse right here, and then I'll show you in a second, once these are in, all of the other babies that will be joining them. And this will live in my patio so that it can get natural lighting, and then we'll come back and see the results in a couple of weeks. These babies, you have to be patient. I may come back in 3 weeks and not see anything, and that's fine with me. So I have a few more. So everything is added here. I want to show you my best propagated red edge peperomia. So if you take a look in here, you'll see that there's a baby leaf from this leaf cutting. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it in here, and we'll see if maybe this will help. Now I had this living in my greenhouse with everybody else, but now that I have this little mini DIY greenhouse, we can go ahead and put them all together. So these ones that I'm putting in now are from my Ziploc bag method, and then when they got roots, I transplanted them into these nursery planters as a little upgrade. And these are all rooted, and they were living in my bathroom for a good minute, so we'll see what happens here. And if the Ziplocs don't fit, then that's fine. They'll just live in the bathroom while I'm away. So the Ziploc bags can't fit in there, but that's fine. They'll live in my bathroom and hopefully join the party later. Okay, so this is everybody. Wow, they look so cute, guys. Ah! I have a box of hopeful babies, guys, and a lot of them, the red edge, were from my original Ziploc method. So here it is. I have all of the babies here. As you can see, I have multiple size planters. So upcycle your planters. I always upcycle my little planters, so save them. I use them to house babies I'm selling or propagating. And this is such a fun way to have your own mini greenhouse. So I hope this inspires you. This little DIY greenhouse cost me a little over $2, and I am definitely happy with that. I'm gonna give one final mist here. And I wish them all luck. I'll be thinking about them while I'm in Egypt. Okay. All right. Now I'm just gonna cover up the box and call it a day. So here's my little setup. I have all of my plant babies in here along with my Ziploc bags. These will go into the bathroom. And I just went ahead and I closed it just halfway. There is a little open crack here on the top of the Ziploc bag, and these are just going to live in my bathroom because there's diffused lighting. With the Ziploc bags, it creates its own little greenhouse effect, so it doesn't need to be in the container. I have this whole thing filled up with babies, which I'm really excited about. I missed them initially before they went into the container, and then once they went into my little greenhouse, I gave them one big mist, and I went ahead and I closed this. But remember, I do have little ventilation slits here that is going to have them have air in this little greenhouse. So I can't wait to come back and see and open up the little greenhouse to see what's in here. I can't wait to come back to this little DIY greenhouse and see if anything happens over the next 3 weeks. If nothing happens over the next 3 weeks, I know for sure in time things will happen. I'll see roots and who knows, more babies popping out of my first batch of propagated leaves. So before I go ahead and wrap up today's video, I definitely wanted to give another plant friend shout out, and this is going to go to Julia Feliciano, and this was on my plant tour video where I had all of my 4 plant tours all in one. I dedicated to my papa, and she says here, your collection is beautiful. I hardly comment, but I watch all of your videos and I was very touched by this one. May the Lord keep you, guide you, and bless you always. So thank you so much. This was posted on December 30th, 2018, and it was definitely a very rough few months for me, and now moving forward with 2019 and still having my grandma here with me today, I'm really blessed and excited to be able to take her on this adventure of a lifetime. And my grandma is 75 and I'm so blessed to have her here today. She will be heading back home to Hawaii after this trip, and she'll probably come up here in June, so I definitely want to go ahead and spend a lot of time with her. But thank you so much for this beautiful comment, Julia, and thank you for supporting my channel. And I definitely wanted to do a video dedicated to my papa because I'm so proud of everything that I've accomplished with this channel and my collection and just everything that I'm doing here in Las Vegas. I hope this inspires you, and if you are in a situation like me where you recently lost somebody and trying to figure out a way how to deal with it, plant therapy and having my dog along with going to church and my grandma has definitely been a big part of my life. So thank you so much for supporting my channel. Being able to do content for this channel means a lot to me, and it really helps me to just kind of find peace in my heart and just keep on going. And I hope this inspires you guys. Until next time, you can find more on my blog at ILOVEJEWELYN.blogspot.com. I'll go ahead and I'll try to get these few last videos out over the span of my Egypt trip, but stay tuned and follow me on Instagram, Planting with Jewelyn, and _ILOVEJEWELYN to see all of my Egypt adventures, and also keep up with my vlog channel, Miss Jewelyn. That's where I'll go ahead and put all of my travel content on there with my grandma. I hope you guys enjoyed today's little propagated DIY greenhouse. You definitely don't need a lot of money or space to create a little greenhouse, and this is just something fun I wanted to do for the channel and for the fallen leaves that were lost in the last 2 days of heavy rain. And I can't wait to come back in 3 weeks and see what's going on in here. So stay tuned. If you're new, welcome to my channel. Hit the bell and subscribe button to be notified whenever I do an upload. And I'll see you guys in Egypt, and I hope to do some plant content out there. If I run into anything special, I'll definitely go ahead and hit record and share it for the channel. You can find more on my blog at ILOVEJEWELYN.blogspot.com. Until next time, aloha from Santa Monica, California. Bye.